So I had a friend, and for this video, I'm going to call him Jay. Now, Jay was the type of guy who had the biggest dreams in the room. He wanted to travel the world. He wanted to get in the best shape of his life. He wanted to start multiple businesses. He wanted to do just about anything. And honestly, I believed he could do it because just like myself, I have high ambitions and I'm not like closed or narrow-minded. I believe that if we can put our mind to something, that we could do it. So I genuinely believed him. He was charismatic and he just had all the potential that you could imagine. But here's the thing. Jay had one problem. He was always waiting for the perfect moment or the right moment. He'd always used to tell me that he wanted to get into the gym and he wanted to be like me and be into fitness and all these things and improve his physique. And he'd spend hours planning the perfect workout routine. He'd spend hours planning the perfect workout routine, but he never hit the gym. He had pages of ideas for his business that he wanted to start up, but the ideas just stayed in his notebook. You see, the truth is, Jay wasn't lacking ambition. He was stuck in a cycle of laziness disguised by overthinking and procrastination. I always say this myself. Over planning is another form of procrastination. If you're constantly over planning and planning this Jay, my friend, he spent, as I said before, hours thinking about the perfect workout routine, but he never hit the gym. Instead of just going to the gym and just finding out what works best for you, it's like he tried to do everything perfect. And when you have that mindset and you go into things like that, things just don't get done. And that's why things never got done for him. And now I don't know how this guy's doing now. As I said, the reason why we're not really cool anymore is because, look, I don't want to, no offense, I don't want to associate myself with people that are not doing anything, Cool, you can plan this, you can plan that, but where's the action? I want to see action. I'm a guy who takes action and I want to see things moving. If you keep saying you're going to do this and this and you don't, then I don't want to be around you because then I don't want that energy rubbing off on me. But yeah, the truth is he wasn't lacking ambition. He was just stuck in a cycle of laziness. And the thing is, watching him was very frustrating because I could see how much more he wanted for himself. I could see it, but he just couldn't get out of his own way. He couldn't just get out of his own way. He was the reason why nothing was happening for him. And that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. How to break free from that cycle if you're ambitious but lazy. Because trust me, you don't want to end up like Jay. And me telling you his story isn't me bashing him. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's proved me wrong and he's not still going down this path. But trust me, you don't want to be like him and then a few years later you're looking back and realizing all the opportunities you had and all those big dreams have gone to waste because you just lacked the drive to make them happen. Now, before I jump straight into the video, I want you to get a notebook and pen and write down, because I'm going to be giving you 5 tips if you're ambitious but lazy and you want to get out of that cycle. Starting off with point number 1, stop overthinking and start acting. Many ambitious people get stuck in this planning mode because they feel like they need the perfect conditions to start what they need to do. For example, a lot of people that tell me, Ashley, I want to start getting into content creation like you. I see you're getting on YouTube, you're doing this. And then I say, why don't you just start? Because I don't have a camera. Bro, like, you don't need a camera. You have a camera on your phone. I'm using my phone. What's stopping you? It's like people they're just overthinking and just not starting. They're just thinking too ahead. The camera, everything doesn't have to be perfect. Do you think the biggest creators started with a professional camera that cost £10,000 and all this stuff? No, they started with their phone. Everyone's got to start somewhere. So just start with what you have. And the truth is, progress comes from messy and imperfect action. So instead of planning hours to make something perfect, just start small. Start with writing the first line of that book. Do a 10-minute workout. Make that phone call. Make things happen. Start small. Because when you start small, you're most likely going to stick with it because you're not putting that pressure on yourself to get this big milestone done. And then when you don't reach that accomplishment, everything just goes downhill because you've expected too highly of yourself. Now, the second point I want you to write down is discipline over motivation. I know you've heard this saying before, but it's true. Now, motivation is a great feeling, but it's fleeting. It's quick. It's here and it's there. It's a quick dopamine. Discipline lasts forever. Discipline is what keeps you moving when that excitement fades, because that excitement's going to fade. You're not going to wake up every day excited to do something, regardless of what it is. It could be the best thing in the world for you. Like, I love working out, right? I love training. I train every single day, but not all the time I want to train. That's the truth. But when you have that motivated feeling on top of the thing you love to do, it's just a bonus. But just be aware that those times are not always going to occur. Sometimes you're not going to want to do certain things, and that's okay. But that discipline is what is going to keep you going. Now, you want to start building habits that make success automatic, like working on your goals at the same time every day. It makes success automatic. Just think of it as setting up systems to support your ambition even when you don't feel like it. The third point I want you to write down is breaking big goals into tiny steps. Now, I've said this in multiple of my videos now. Big ambitions can lead to that overwhelming feeling, which then leads to procrastination. If you feel overwhelmed by multiple things of your goals, you're going to lead to procrastinating about them. You're going to lead to not wanting to do them because you know how big of the goal is, instead of just breaking it down into manageable pieces. Now, this little hack or trick is to break them into like bite-sized pieces. Like, for example, you want to start a business, start researching for like 15 minutes a day. Another example could be you want to get fit, you want to start getting into working out. How about you start with a 5-minute walk every single day? You see how you're breaking down big goals into bite-sized pieces, like these little tiny pieces, because they're stepping stones, but they're very little stepping stones, but they're still stepping stones, instead of just thinking of these big goals and you want to get jacked or fit, and then all these things, it just ends up not getting anywhere. That's why most people don't get anywhere, because they think of the extreme goals. A lot of people, we're in December, a lot of people are going to start their New Year's resolution in 2025, but everyone's going to do the same thing and say, write down all their goals they want to achieve the whole year, instead of thinking smart and be like, no, how about we focus on what goals I want to achieve each month? You see how it gets a little bit smaller. And if each month is overwhelming for you, you can say, okay, what goals can I achieve this week? And then if you want to break that down even more, which goals do I want to achieve each day? What goals do I want to achieve at each moment of the day? You're just breaking it down. You get the point. Now, this fourth point is my favorite point, and I want you to write this down. It's using pain of regret as fuel, because boy, I tell you, that's one thing I do not want. I don't want to be looking back when I'm older and thinking, damn, I should have done this, I should have done that. I just want to do, so I don't have those moments. And that should be just like you. You shouldn't want to feel any regret when in the future, because the time we have now, we can never get this back. I can't get the time back that I'm recording this video. We're never going to get these moments back. It's really important when we have goals and ambitions that we act on it. We don't act on it abruptly. We think about things. Okay, let me start small. Everything I've talked about in this video so far, you should have wrote those down and been looking at them and to see how those points could apply to your life so far. You see, laziness feels comfortable now, but think about if you was to look back in 5 years' time and realize you're in the exact same place you're in now. You're still at the same place. How would that feel? It wouldn't feel right. It would be, I don't even know. I don't even want to imagine that. It just wouldn't feel right. Being in the exact same place as you are right now, today. The exact same place as you are today in 5 years' time. And that's exactly why ambition without action leads to regret. Doesn't matter how ambitious someone is. If you're not acting on things, nothing will get done. Those ambitions mean absolutely nothing if you don't do anything. Because everyone has ambitions. I'm sure everyone has ambitions. But who is going to act on those ambitions and work hard to get there? Because action takes hard work. We can all imagine the nice fancy cars we want in the future, the clothes or the lifestyle. We can all imagine it. It seems, nice to imagine it. But the action, the hard work is what is actually going to make those dreams turn into reality. My last and final point I want you to write down is celebrating the small wins. Now, this is another point that I talk about in multiple videos. And it's very, very important, because too much of us focus on that end goal. They don't even think about anything else, just that end goal. And they often overlook the progress that they're making along the journey. Just celebrate your small wins. It could be so simple. It could be as simple as completing a task or sticking to a habit, a really good habit for a week straight. That's something to be proud about. Those little victories build momentum and remind you that you're moving forward, instead of just overlooking the small steps and just trying to rush straight to the top. And remember, ambition means nothing without action. Start small, stay consistent, and progress beats perfection every single time. The only way out of laziness is through discipline. Now go and make it happen.